Hello. Quick topic. I wondered if anybody ever experienced soul crushing jobs. Have you ever had a job that was just soul crushing? And I guess my definition of soul crushing is where you basically just don't want to go to the job anymore. Every time you go to the job, you feel defeated. Even though you're getting money and you're getting enough, maybe you're not even getting enough money. Maybe that'd be actually one of the factors why it's so crushing to you. But this job is such a displeasure to you that you just hate waking up every day, or hate thinking about waking up every day to go back to that job. But you need to go back to that job in order to pay bills, in order to, you know, live life or whatever, because you're dependent upon it. But it gives you, it's like hurts your soul to even think, just to even think about going back to that job. And when I think about my life, or at least all the jobs I've been into, even if I didn't smell bad, even if I didn't smell like shit, like there was a few soul crushing jobs I've went to, a few, and I think a lot of it has to do with just my personality. For example, right now, currently, I'm in customer service. I'm a customer service agent. So basically, I work for Ancestry, and I take 30 to 40 calls every day. And for some people, that's not really that bad. Just talking to people every day and trying to resolve issues. But for me and my personality, constantly talking to people every day and then having certain people bitch to me, and I don't have the ability to tell them to shut the fuck up every day, it takes a mental toll on your, I can't say mental toll on your soul, but just a mental toll every day to just try to reserve or not be honest and limit yourself to what you really want to say. I think doing all that really bothers you because, within any type of customer service, the customer is always right, which I completely disagree with. Sometimes motherfucking customers need to be told to shut the fuck up. I'm just being honest. And when you're in these types of industries or in these types of jobs where no matter if the customer is wrong, he is right, it just bothers you. And at the same time, you want to leave the job, but at the same time, you can't find somebody out. You can't just jump to another job as quick as possible, or have the job that has the same pay rate. And that's the thing about me, is like, even though obviously there's way worse jobs I ever have, way worse jobs out there. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some kid in Africa shoveling cow shit from one place to the next in a war-torn area where bullets are flying west and east, and he has to duck and dodge them while carrying a load of shit from one place to another, from point A to point B. But at the same time, I think a lot of people will say, like, they will point to examples of people having worse situations than you and say, oh, you should be grateful because at least you're not, bullets are not flying across your face while you're shoveling cow shit. But at the same time, I can acknowledge that someone is having a worse time out there, whether it's in a third world country or in America. There's probably way worse experiences or jobs that people are experiencing, but at the same time, it doesn't negate the fact that I'm not having a good time. It doesn't negate the fact that I don't feel accomplished, or I'm not moving in the direction I feel like I'm going to. I think another thing about feeling like you have a soul-crushing job is the fact that you measure yourself. You measure yourself. You know what you're capable of. You know what skill set you have. And you assess that. You think that based on your skill set and based on what you know about yourself, I should be at a higher level than what I'm at right now. And when you don't, when I guess what you think you deserve is not what you're getting, you feel like you're being cheated out in life in a way. Like, you feel like you just don't feel as grateful for the job. And on top of that, if there are certain stressors within the job and you don't even want to do this job right now, you just did it because this is the best job I can get at the moment, those stressors with the displeasement of not reaching your potential, with the other factor of, what was the other factor? Of you just getting this because this is something you can get at the moment, all that comes into play. And I guess that gives you this feeling of, man, I don't want to get up and go to work today. You know, and to be fair, like from all the jobs I went to, most of them were like customer service related jobs. I wanted to find an article I've seen a couple of years ago where it was talking about how a lot of jobs that are customer service related, these people have like higher instances of depression or suicide or some shit like that. But I couldn't find it, so I was like, damn, that sucks. But yeah, I guess just communicating back and forth with people and you not having any type of, I don't want to say privilege. I think there's a better word for it, but I'm going to just use privilege for just the sake of example. You don't have the privilege of just being honest and telling them, yeah, like for example, since I work with a lot of people, I work with a lot of customer service, there's a lot of customers who forget to cancel their subscription or whatever the case. And then they're like, okay, I want you to cancel my subscription and I deserve a refund. And technically they don't, because within the refund policy, you're not supposed to get a refund at all. Just because you forgot to cancel your subscription doesn't mean you can cancel it and get a refund. So then they get real bitchy and mad at you, and you can't tell them, hey man, you fucked up. Don't blame me. Don't blame the company. This was on your ass. But if I say that shit, and if there's some type of QA that listens to it, I'm gonna get fired. So it like they limit you from just being honest. It limits you from just, I don't know how to explain it, but it just bothers you. It bothers me to no end. And just recently, I got called up from my supervisor, and I have like 2 red flags. Basically, they're like strikes, and you have 3 strikes. After the 3rd strike, you're out. And the thing is, when she was telling me this, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna lose my job. But at the same time, I was sort of like happy that I'm gonna lose my job. Like I had this weird experience where it's like, I'm sort of like, disappointed, but at the same time I'm happy because there's an excuse for me to get another job, because fuck this job. But at the same time, I still need the money because I just need a job. So it puts me in just a weird state where I'm like, I'm happy, I'm relieved, but I'm stressed out by the thought of possibly losing a job. But at the same time, fuck this job. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just have this energy. I just have this type of conflict in my life, and I don't know how to deal with that. And I don't know, man. Like, I just hate. I only have I have 2 days off, just like most people do. There's some people out there who have to work 6 days and only have 1 day off, right? Some people work, it's fairly rare, but there's some people who work 7 days a week. But even then, I think there's certain people who work 7 days a week and find some type of enjoyment out of it. If you don't, then okay, you're in a soul-crushing job. But when I think about my job, like, there's little to no enjoyment I get from it. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel satisfied for resolving issues. I feel like I have a bigger purpose. I feel like this is so beyond me, type shit. But seriously, it just feels like I'm wasting my fucking life. And I don't know if that's just a common thing everybody feels. I don't know if I'm just bitching because again, there's like somebody out in a third world country who's making pennies on a dollar. But here's the thing about this pennies on a dollar thing. Who knows what a couple of pennies in American is for their currency? Maybe a couple of pennies is like $500 in their currency, and they could buy all types of groceries and shit with those just measly pennies. But I don't know. I'm not saying that's the case for everything. And at the same time, another thing about the argument of, oh, you should be grateful. It's like, even the person that you think, let's say the person is, shoveling cow manure from point A to point B. I'm pretty sure there is somebody else who has it worse than him. I'm pretty sure there's somebody else who has to shovel cow manure while trying to fight bandits from taking his cow manure while having a missing leg and is suffering from genital herpes. So his crotch is burning, he has a missing leg, he has to fight off bandits, and he has to shovel cow manure and shit every day. There's always like somebody, even if you can think of somebody who's dealing with something worse, there's somebody who's dealing with something worse than that. So if the person who is dealing with something worse has somebody that's dealing with something even worse than that, can he not complain either? Like, I think we should all complain. I don't think we should all complain, but I feel like we have the right to just say, oh, I'm dissatisfied with what I'm dealing with right now. But I didn't want to make it too long. I already see it's like 10 minutes. I just wanted to ask the question, is anybody else suffering from soul-crushing jobs? Because I think I am. And I don't know what to do about it. Anyways, I'm going to end right here.